What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome on back to Mass Effect. So last episode, we finally got some evidence on Saren from Tali's aura, and newest addition to the crew. She managed to prove that he's working with somebody who is talking about the Reapers returning, but he's mainly looking for the Conduit, and it directly proves that he's working with the Geth. So now the Council can't refute any of that. Yeah, me too.
All this time we spent hunting for evidence gave Saren a nice head start.
Oh, look, we got the best ship in the galaxy then, huh? He don't have a big enough head start. And maybe the Council, if they decide to believe us, can help us look too. Although I wouldn't hold my breath on any kind of Council assistance, to be honest, but I guess we'll see. We'll walk up their expensive, limited edition, exclusive members club staircase here. What did Caden say? I wonder if it's meant to be ceremonial, kind of like worshiping them. But you know the gravity of the situation by making you climb up all these goddamn stairs. Well, we're about to go rub salt in their wounds. I'm sure they're going to have real sour faces about the fact that one of their favorite pets is actually corrupt.
Come on. Udina's presenting the Quarian's evidence to the Council.
But they didn't wait for us, huh?
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Spectre status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who would that be?
Who's she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
No, but we're going to. If he wants it, then we want it too, right? Surely it's a bad idea to let him get a hold of it, even not knowing what it is, because he was about to nuke out Eden Prime for it.
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
I don't blame him for his skepticism there, because it doesn't make sense in multiple reasons, right? Saren is an agent. He has self-preservation. He's one of the best damn soldiers in the galaxy, so why would he want... He signed his own death warrant, bringing something back that destroys the universe. So, I'm not surprised that they're skeptical. Of course, we have the advantage of the vision that we got, but the Council don't have that benefit, and they don't even believe that we had it either, so...
I tried to warn you about Saren, and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Spectre. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
Udina played his hand too soon.
Cannot track down one man.
Correct.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
And there's the attitude towards humanity. It's like Anderson said, right? They tell us to go colonize the places they can't handle, and then when we get in trouble, they just wash their hands of it. Like, well, we didn't tell you to do that, even though the implication was that we needed to get onto the Council. Do this thing for us without us asking, and if you run into problems, we never asked, so you'll never get any help.
Every time humanity asks for help, you ignore us.
Shepard's right. I'm sick of this council and its anti-human bull.
Ambassador,
The gasping in the
another
crowds because he was about to say
a way
bullshit.
to stop Saren that does not require fleets or armies.
No, it's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
Man, and no matter how many times I watch this, it never gets any less cool. This is one of my favorite cutscenes in video games. This is right up there with joining the Grey Wardens for me.
You don't have to send a fleet into the Traverse, and the Ambassador gets his human Spectre. Everybody's happy.
A political win-win. Even the Turian can't get grouchy at that.
Commander Shepard, step forward. It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle, those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
Send a Spectre to catch a Spectre. Jenkins was right after all.
Any idea where to find him?
We will forward any relevant files to Ambassador Udina.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
And we get to rise a Spectre. I'm sure Udina is thrilled about that outcome.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the C-Sec Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
We will definitely
Anderson,
do
come
that.
with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
We still need to talk to Anderson inside the embassies too. See what we can find out about his history with Saren proper.
Not even a thank you from the Ambassador.
Politics.
Until I find Saren, I haven't done anything. Come on.
Right behind you, Commander.
I wouldn't say we haven't done anything, we've still done a lot, and now we get access to bonus talents, which is why I saved my points, because now we get this charm level all the way up, and we get an extra store discount, so discounts on discounts for us there. Our Spectre training is increase the damage and duration of all your powers and attacks by 1%, increase health by 5%, and increases maximum accuracy by 2. That just buffs everything wholesale. It also gives us Unity, which is a squad heal, and if they die, if they do happen to die, it revives them with 30% health and 50% shields. This does go up as you get on up the line. This is 40 health, 75 shields, and then 50 health and 100 shields, so we do want Master Unity eventually. But the main thing we waited for is Charm. Now we have this Charm all the way up, we can start knocking off some of those side quests that we had to deal with. So beyond that, we'll get our access to heavy armor, and for our final point, we will upgrade the damage on our assault rifles. That seems like the best thing to do with that. And I wonder, did you guys get level ups too? You did indeed. So let's give you Master Sabotage. Now you can open every box you ever run into. I'll give you a couple up there, but we really do need to start working on you getting lift. So let's do that. Let's keep you nice and well rounded. And for Ash, we already maxed out her soldier, so we'll give you what does assault training do? Buffs your damage. Let's do a mix of those two talents for her. We'll get her assault rifles and everything else up. And equipment-wise, what do we have? We have Heat Sink 2, which is perfect, and Shield Regenerator, which I'm not too interested in a lot of it, but Heat Sink 2 I am very interested in, because that's 12% heat absorption versus the 10 or 8 or whatever we had before. And now we are a Spectre, the first in human history, so we made history today. And thanks to our new Spectre status there, and the new plot point that we unlocked, we do have extra things to take care of.
to speak with one of
We can finally speak to Kahoku now.
Congratulations on becoming the first human Spectre, Commander. I'm certain you'll be up to the challenge.
Thank you. Big praise from an admiral.
Appreciate that.
My name is Admiral Kahoku.
He's the same rank as
I've got one of our own in with the Spectres.
Captain
We need
Anderson.
people like you to deal with
Or almost.
problems.
Admiral Kahoku is big dick.
Is something wrong, Admiral?
I'm getting stonewalled by bureaucratic assholes. Nothing new. Maybe you can help me, Shepard. One of my recon teams was investigating some strange activity out in the Traverse. We lost contact yesterday. Now I can't get clearance to check it out. Suddenly it's a restricted area. But that doesn't apply to you, Shepard. Spectres can go anywhere they want. You could find out why my team dropped out of contact.
I'll certainly look into it.
I'll find them, Admiral.
I appreciate that, Commander.
No man left
Running out
behind.
of options. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can find anything out through official channels. Won't hold my breath, though.
Yeah, he's just getting stonewalled by the council, obviously.
Where my team was last seen to your ship. Maybe you can get some answers.
Which is interesting that they would be stonewalling him and not giving him any information regarding that situation, because the council seems to make concessions to humanity when they have to, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense to risk such a political incident with humanity over one missing ship. So obviously something more going on there.
I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
What's bothering you?
Maybe I can help.
Well, maybe you can. You're a soldier, right? You ever head out to the Traverse?
Spectre now, not just a soldier.
The Traverse is a rough place. We're out there quite a bit.
My brother's the captain of a ship called the Majesty. It was crossing the Traverse a few days ago when it disappeared. Just dropped right off the grid. And that usually means one of two things. They had massive mechanical failure, or they were attacked.
Any idea why someone would attack them?
Privateers, slavers, mercs looking for an easy score. There's a lot of nasty sorts out in the Traverse. I won't give up on my brother. Not yet. I've got the coordinates for the last transmission from his vessel.
You know what they were transporting.
What kind of ship was it?
Don't let the name fool you. The Majesty's just a small trading vessel, only a handful of crew. But he kept it in good condition. I don't think mechanical failure is too likely. But they don't have any real weapons or shields. If anyone did come after them, the Majesty'd be a sitting duck.
Well, I doubt a small trading vessel was carrying anything of that high of significance, right? To the point where somebody would chase them through the galaxy, trying to shoot them down.
What's in this for me?
Especially not if it's a big fancy ship, they wouldn't even
If
assume.
I had that kind of cash, I'd have hired a recovery team to track him down already. Maybe you could look into this as a personal favor, you know? We humans have to stick together.
Isn't anyone else looking into this?
My brother's just a small independent trader. Ships like his disappear in the Traverse all the time.
Yeah, the Attican Traverse is right on board with the Terminus systems like we already discussed, and the Council want absolutely nothing to do with conflict in that region.
Alive, I'll find him. Give me the coordinates.
But we are going to be going all over the Traverse looking for Saren, so we may as well accept it, right? Like he said about humans having to stick together, he's not wrong about that. A lot of common interests and things like that going on. What we do need to do now, though, is we need to wrap up the rest of these Citadel quests that we've been working on in the background before we head on out to the galaxy. So we'll go back down this elevator, we'll see if we get any more cool companion dialogue, and then we'll just start chopping down these quests. We got Presidium Prophet, which is a really funny quest with a jellyfish.
Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Of course they did. And we have the signal tracking quest that we already kind of dealt with, which I do need to swing left for to grab something for that. Oh, you do get quests in the elevator sometimes too. You saw how the journal upgraded there for the Exogeny Corp. There's our Presidium Prophet. And then down this left side is going to be something we need for the tracking signal. So I'll actually swing down here first to get the tracking signal. This is going to take us to CSEC access, or wards access. And there's a little terminal about halfway down. So we'll go grab this signal tracker, then we'll come back up this way for the Presidium Prophet. And then that'll get us right next to Barla, which we haven't talked to yet. And the signal's right behind his desk, so we need to chat to him too.
To perform studies with a long-range goal of curing their genetics.
And like I said, now we're a Spectre and we have those bonus charm points. We can get the Paragon point outcomes to a bunch of these quests, which is why I waited. You can do them before we become a Spectre, but you won't have enough Paragon to get the outcomes that reward the most points, so I like to wait on that kind of stuff. I like to be a little more patient with that, and the signal should be on this monitor right there. Indeed.
It's good. Busy, though. Thank you.
Looks like whoever it was bounced the signal off a hidden relay. I'll trace the new signal.
Very good. I don't think that there is any keepers down here. I think there's only one left to get, which would be next to the Normandy, because I think I already hit this guy. I think the last keeper is right by the Normandy, but we do need to hit CSEC for the requisitions officer, and we also got to talk to Jalid for Shulbin, so we'll go to CSEC for those quests, and then we also need to go back to Emily Wong and give her her data disk.
Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
That's the biotic cult that we already got a little bit of a memo on. Some more biotics kidnapped a ship right there, and that's going to get added to our journal. We will make sure to grab that quest while we go through there. That's the Hades Gamma Cluster, and we're going there for a couple quests, actually. A lot of the open world sections like that end up being relevant.
You're not allowed in here.
This one believes it has the right to move freely through this area.
You're creating a public disturbance. It's against Citadel regulations.
This one is unsure why the other would not wish word of the Enkindlers to be spread.
That Hanar
Gonna be a little bit of a touchy subject.
Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
What's going on here?
Are there laws being broken here?
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the Hanar gets a permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
This quest is so, like, modern, considering when this game came out. This is very modern, the whole thing here.
Why don't you just arrest the Hanar?
I could arrest the jelly, but my superior has requested that I find a solution that does not anger the Hanar. The Hanar become vocal when they feel their religious beliefs are being suppressed.
And they become vocal. Yeah, so he was sent here with the shit job, basically. He's got to convince this Hanar to quit its bullshit without offending his sensibilities. Don't want to risk an incident, of course.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe. The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war.
Let me see if I can talk some sense into the jelly.
If you'd like, I could talk to the Hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You are certainly welcome to try.
I'll give it a shot.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
I don't know how you could ever get mad at one of these things, man, the way that they speak.
Is this really how you want to represent the Enkindlers?
The truth of the Enkindlers must be made known. They gave the Hanar language, and gave the universe the mass relays. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
What exactly do you think the Enkindlers are? Anyways, what we can actually do here, now that we have the Paragon points, is kind of twist his own sensibilities against him to get him to see the error of his ways, rather than doing it the bad way, what the CSEC was trying to do.
Is this how the Enkindlers would want you to use this gift of consciousness?
The Enkindlers would wish for their message to be spread to all sentient races.
The Enkindlers wouldn't wish their message to be spread by breaking society's laws.
This one hears wisdom.
Doesn't do much for your cause, annoying people into having a hearing.
Judgment in this matter. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the Presidium again.
Nice and easy for us. He saw a reason there. We get 8 Paragon points for that too.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
It's pretty easy once you just understand the situation.
Happy to help.
Here, for, 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 for,
Yeah, tell him that you did all the hard work, I'm sure. Yeah, that's always funny to me, man. You got the Preaching Hanar talking about his religion in a public space, which is the Presidium, which is like the main tourist hub of this place. So obviously they don't want that. What did he say? You need a permit to weed out the undesirables. Don't want it to be a religious battleground, which makes sense, right? This place represents, I think, every species in the galaxy almost, aside from the ones that aren't involved in the council from the Traverse. So I'm sure there's a lot of different cultures and religions here. You see one represented there, then the other people are going to want theirs represented too, and then that spirals into a whole thing.
As best I can tell, the receiver for the new signal is somewhere on the Presidium.
I locked you out. Sorry, friend.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepard.
Indeed.
It is a great honor to welcome the heroes of the Blitz.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
I've heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepard, and you're right. But Rex has already told you far more than I know about this. I am sorry, but I have nothing else to offer.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but I don't expect you to turn against the Shadow Broker. You'd be a very fool to do that. You're a Volus too, so it's not like you could save yourself from that onslaught.
Tell me more about your job.
He's just here for the bread.
Finance is incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law.
That doesn't mean it's not shady.
So many
Loopholes are
of my clients
loopholes.
would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed.
Now I wonder why that is.
For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the Council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company?
Insider trading, baby.
Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
Still sounds shady to me.
Then we can only hope he will never be cursed with a large enough fortune to require my services.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that on military pay.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
Maybe Spectre pay.
I think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very
I'm
wealthy.
sure Spectres get all kinds of investment opportunities.
True master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. He must have a favor, right? It'd be almost impossible to remain impartial. And speaking of Spectre investments, I imagine sponsors is a thing too. Like, I imagine a lot of the gun manufacturers would love to have the famous Spectre rocking their power pistol, right?
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
A game that never ends and a tab that never closes.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way.
And ironically, he's probably selling his clients' secret investments to the Shadow Broker too. And then he probably uses that to blackmail the Hanar investor, for example, since that's the guy he talked about.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt the greatest wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single, strong community.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters. But only the most powerful and influential species
So
have
80% is on board and 20% is not.
This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
Which, when you think about it, 20% of a galaxy is a very large amount of people. That's a lot of numbers against the Council. Even if 80-20 is a very unfair advantage in terms of a split, 20% of a galaxy is no joke. That's still trillions.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find down in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
Yeah, I'm sure he spends a lot of time in the strip club.
Goodbye, Commander.
And take it easy. We got one more quest down here. Miss Helena Blake.
Got a moment, Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed.
Oh, really? You have no idea, huh?
Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
And how did they end up with that impression, Helena?
I eliminate them, and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you.
Of course.
You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity.
So otherwise you
I have no interest
would.
in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
Red sand is basically this game's heroin. It's methamphetamine, basically.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures.
She likes to
but their
speak in
business
fluffy lawyer
practices have
speak.
forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
Well, of course I'll do it, because they're slavers, and anyone who watches my channel knows how I feel about that, and I'm not too fond of Batarians either, but we haven't met Batarians yet, so we will do it. But of course, like I said, it's an obvious setup, but we'll handle that when it comes, right? Two birds with one stone. If we can get her partners in the criminal organization, and then her at the end, that works out for me, so why not?
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
And we'll see if you leave our final meeting with that same sentiment. Hey, Gangsta Grandma there ain't too slick, and like I said, we're not pure Paragon. You'd notice we got Renegade points right there, because we're willing to deal with the scum of the galaxy, but I don't mind getting Paragon and Renegade points in a mix. We'll be Paragon mostly, so it doesn't lock off our options too much, but again, there's always going to be a situation where I'm prepared to do what's necessary regardless of the morality system we subscribe to. Because I make decisions that I would make in reality in these games. I'm not just going to blindly follow the Paragon path, and there'll be a lot of times where you'll see me get Renegade points in this playthrough. I just won't be an asshole to be an asshole, but sometimes the situation requires an asshole to solve it, right? You can't always do things with flowery, political correct kind of statements or actions. Sometimes you just gotta put a gun in somebody's face and make the world a better place. So I do want to quickly go up and see if Captain Anderson is up here in his office. If he is, we'll try and talk to him a little about the whole Saren situation. he is no longer here, which actually kind of works out because we need to go to the markets and talk to Emily Wong and do some things down there anyways. And then we need to hit up CSEC for Chelik and all that stuff. I don't think we have enough time in this episode to get all of that done, but we can certainly get some of it done. Emily Wong is going to ask us for another favor, I think. Although she might do that at a different time, I'm not sure. Wards, we want to go to the markets. Because we got to talk to Emily, and then we got to go back to Dr. Michel. And Conrad's still not back. He'll be there after every main plot quest, so after each plot world, I would recommend coming back to the Citadel and checking all the stock out. And of course, your vendor inside the Normandy as well. But for now, we have your data disk.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down FIST. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
I did.
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got FIST files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
Anytime.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview when my investigation is over?
Exclusive? You talk to me before you talk to anyone else? That would be worth quite a bit, and I'd be very happy to compensate you accordingly. Here you are.
No problem.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
Yeah, we'll be running into Miss Wong again. That won't be the last we see of her. Not even just in this game either. She'll be in future games too. Which is a fun little thing. I like the continuity between all these games. You'll get something in Mass Effect 1. It might even just be the smallest little side quest you didn't think would be relevant. And then all the way in the end of the trilogy, it'll come into a little side quest or maybe a little codex or an email here and there. It's fun.
I need those supplies for my clinic. I can't.
You can and you will, or your story won't stay secret for long. Don't disappoint me, Doctor.
Oh, Commander Shepard, I didn't see you come in.
Every time I come in here, I see someone threatening you. Who was that?
Someone from my past. I can take care of it.
Don't have to take care of it alone.
I might be able to help you.
I was fired by my previous employer for giving out free medical supplies to clinics like this. They never filed any charges. They just wanted me to leave without any fuss. But somebody must have found out. Now they are blackmailing me. I have to give them what they want. If the board finds out about my past, I could lose my license. They'll shut my clinic down.
Why don't you let me take care of this?
Maybe I can get you out of this. Tell me what they want.
I have to give some of my medical supplies to a merchant in the markets. They expect delivery today.
Give me your contact's name. I'll deal with this guy, whoever he is.
Deal with him? But won't they expose my past?
Oh, I assure you we can handle somebody that's low enough of a life to just blackmail somebody.
I'll make sure they don't tell anyone.
I was told to speak with a merchant named Morlan down in the markets. I really appreciate...
You want many famous goods, yes?
Don't worry. I'll take care of this.
Good luck, Commander. Be careful down there.
We already met Morlan, and he did seem like the nervous type, so I'm sure he's going to fall like a cheap suit as soon as we start pressuring him a little. I'm sure we won't require to put a boot on his neck. He's just down here too, right down the stairs. And then we do also got to go speak to Jalid. But we can do that when we go speak to Chelik anyways, because we still got to handle Rita's sister situation too. Yeah, this is all almost wrapped up now. You see why I said that I didn't want to just make all this one video, right? I think this is the 5th video on the Citadel, and we're almost at 35 minutes here, too. So if we had done this all in one big episode, this would have probably ended up running us close to 3 hours, which is why I decided to split this up. But it is all worth doing again, all the flavor we get for the universe and things like that. It's all very good and essential for world building, I think.
Hello there. Welcome to Morland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
You were expecting a delivery of medical supplies?
But I was told the doctor would be bringing them.
Change of plans.
A change, but the doctor... I don't... This is not right, human.
Big and bold.
I told Baines you'd screw this up.
Baines, huh?
What the hell's going on here? Who are you?
Leave the doctor alone.
We can end this if you just bring me those supplies. Otherwise, I'll start telling people about the doctor's little secret.
Would you like to retain the ability to speak?
You're shutting down a medical clinic. What if someone needs treatment? What if you need treatment?
Hey, hold on! I'm just the middleman here. This is way more than I bargained for.
I think that's probably the only coward you'll ever see of a Krogan in this whole franchise.
Humbled so.
Yeah, now do you know anything about the name he spewed out?
What do you know about Baines?
I have never met him, human. I only worked with the one who spoke with the doctor.
Fair enough.
Goodbye.
I believe that.
Yes, all right then. Good tidings to
I
you.
think Morland's too much of a puss to lie to us, so I believe him when he says he doesn't know anything about that. The good doctor might, though. And there is a little chain of dialogue you can follow here with Baines, but it never really goes anywhere, so what you have to do is you go speak to Kahoku about Baines, and then you can ask Admiral Anderson about, or Captain Anderson, sorry, he's not Admiral yet. You speak to Anderson about it, and he says that everybody thinks he's dead. Well, then it turns out he is dead, but you never really figure out who's using Baines' name. I mean, you can connect the dots and kind of guess who it is when you know about a certain organization that we haven't met yet. But it never actually explicitly says it, and the quest doesn't go anywhere, so unless I've missed something in all the different times I've replayed this game, the whole Baines name thing doesn't really go anywhere. But if anybody watching this knows that I'm missing something with the whole Baines plotline, please let me know.
Commander, how did things go?
He won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? That's a great relief, Commander. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I can't pay you for your help, but I can give you a discount on any supplies you purchase here.
The thug said he worked for a man named Baines. Sound familiar?
Baines? I wonder if he means Armiston Baines. We worked together a long time ago.
What can you tell me about him?
Last I heard, the Alliance military was contracting him for some research in the Traverse.
I wonder if the captain knows him.
Yeah, so research in the Traverse is where Admiral Kahoku's men went missing. They were doing a research team job in the Traverse, so it's definitely connected.
We'll see what the captain can tell us.
I wish I could tell you more. Is there anything else I can help you with, Commander?
I can check out your discount and see how good of a discount you're giving me. So now the medical exoskeleton is 336,000, so we're obviously not going to be getting that anytime soon. We have 5,000 credits. The cheapest one we can get would be the First Aid Interface 3, which is 2 health regeneration a second, which is not really worth it, I don't think. We will sell some things up while we're here, though, so the Hammerhead can go. Keep the pistol. Anti-personnel 2 we can keep. Combat sensor we'll keep. Hardened Weave could be useful. Not too interested in those. Radioactive, not too interested. Shield battery. I'd rather have that versus the other thing. Guardian armor might be good for us. Now we can wear heavy. We can drop some of the shotguns. We'll keep the light Quarian armor for Tally if she can use it. We'll keep the AP rounds. Drop the plate in, and we'll drop the Heatsink 1 since we already have Heatsink 2 available. And now we're up at 7,000 credits, which means we might be able to buy that grenade upgrade from the markets. But anyways, we've been going for around 38 minutes here, so I'll probably split this one up here and get us into a position where we continue and wrap up the rest of these quests. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Mass Effect. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.